Hello, cruel world, and welcome to another Slowpoke sleeping on Southside Ciphers, gang banging for the glory of God, a half-court nothing but net with notes narrated by noteworthy novelists who know nothing near greatness is given. Uncle Gary found out Kid Leroy is an Australian Aboriginal and now wants to learn how to spit roast a pig episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
What's up, dude?
Not much. You better not block my camera angle this week.
God bless you. Dude, I blocked your camera angle?
I don't know.
Oh, because
I guess
on my head.
Out. Yeah.
I didn't consider that. I'll just make sure I lean way the fuck back, way back. Okay.
You ever ate it way back?
Way back burgers?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, of course.
You get the triple?
Who do you think I am? Have you ever had In-N-Out is the real question.
Yeah, but have you had the triple?
No.
It's 9 patties and 9 slices of cheese. You gotta eat it with like a fork, basically.
Did you know that at Whataburger, they will make you a cheeseburger with as many patties as you request?
Really? That's dope.
I had a friend of mine do 36 patties, and he had to like deconstruct it, and like he made it all the way through it. Had a milkshake, 2 fries, and walked out of there with a soda.
Nice.
Just a freaking heathen.
I did the triple one time. My boss told me if I ate it, I could leave early for work, and I was driving to Indianapolis, so I smashed that whole burger and then stopped at every restroom to poop on the way to Indy.
Oh, a guarantee. Almost sure. Absolutely guaranteed. That is like trench warfare in your colon. That is a nightmare.
A lot of
grease. Dude, I'll tell you what. I had Fall Festival's over.
Yeah. Did you get to go?
Yeah, twice.
Nice.
Once on my own fruition, and then another time due to the request of somebody else to go pick up food for him or whatever. But, dude, the first time I went, I did deep fried Oreos for the first time.
Yeah.
They were so good.
Yeah.
Like, so, have you had a deep fried Oreo?
Yeah.
They're so good. But then, like, the moment I was done eating them, I just got more and more disgusted. Yeah. Because I was like, as I was eating the Oreo, it was like, are you a dunker? Like, do you dunk your Oreo?
Sometimes.
So,
normally.
like, if you dunk your Oreo and let it get soft and then eat it, that's like the consistency of the deep fried Oreo, of the Oreo itself.
Right.
And then, like, once I was done eating it, I was like, oh, that was so good. And then after I was like, all that moisture was definitely just grease.
100%.
I was grossed out. And with that intro.
Joining us this week in the Days Grimm studio is Christian rap artist Johlee. How are you?
What's up? I'm doing good.
Johlee, what's up, dude? Every time I think when I say your name, I have that song. Jolene. Yeah, dude, that is stuck in my head since I've said your name. I'm not the first person to have ever said that to you?
No.
Damn, dude. And that was not the coal miner's daughter. That was, who sang that one? That was
Dolly.
Yeah, it was Dolly Parton, dude. Which I
think she's still alive.
Yeah,
she's still alive, dude. Loretta Lynn did just pass away, though, so big shoots to her and her family, dude.
So, what was that like a part of the name choice? No.
As far as
like just hearing that song growing up or anything, like when did you pick the name Johlee?
So, probably because I switched over from L-Dubs, and L-Dubs just being like my name for forever.
Right, like a childhood nickname.
Yeah, so like I kind of stuck with it, and so just kind of wanting to do a new or rebrand. Johlee, it kind of stuck out because it was just like a name,
right?
You know, but yeah, even when I started with it, you know, I just like, oh well, Johlee, and then once I actually introduced to the world, hey, this is what I'm going by now. A lot of people just, Johlee, you know.
That's all I think of, dude. Yeah, dude, that DP, that Dolly part, you know.
So how long would you say you've been making music?
On a serious scale, probably maybe 8 years.
Has it always been Christian hip hop?
No.
Oh, damn. So you kind of just like, how long have you been doing the Christian specific material?
About 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Out of the 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Isn't that what we said? 8 solid years?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Is there anything that specifically made you transition to that?
I think it was simply the calling, and when I lost my dad back in
And you can bring that in a little bit too if you want.
I lost my dad back in 2017, and actually, I'm sorry, that wasn't 2017. That was 2015. I lost my dad the same year I got married. So I remember the last conversation me and my dad had. He's like, continue doing what you love, which was the music, and every conversation that we had, it was just, hey, how's the family doing? How's the music going? So he knows me, or he knew me by doing music. So it was just a transition. Hey, this is something that had to happen,
Okay. Respect, dude. And then also, sorry for your loss, dude. That sucks, dude.
No worries.
So before we dive in too deep,
yeah, so we're going to talk about, speaking of folks, passing away. We do this thing every week where we talk a little bit on how a crazy, maybe a crazy individual or maybe just a crazy happenstance that ultimately leads to the unfortunate passing of a human being. We call it the Death of the Week. So this week's Death of the Week brought to you by Corn Dog Development. They do these super dope coasters. Check them out on Etsy. Descriptions or the links in the description. Promo code Days Grimm will save you 10% on anything that guy offers. Check him out, dude. He's crushing it. Official sponsor. This week's Death of the Week, guys. Pretty strange here. So we're just going to dive on into it as you're reading the headline, as I am as well. 36-year-old man beaten to death with pogo stick on Christmas Eve. Man found with head injury in Southside laundromat, police say. Jacksonville, Florida. No fucking surprise there.
another one.
Wow. Fucking Florida is on fire. Literally and figuratively. 36-year-old man was beaten to death on Christmas Eve by a masked man with a pogo stick in a laundromat on Jacksonville's South Side. Was found with a severe head injury in the coin laundry at Beach Boulevard near Cortez Road just before 7 a.m. December 24th. Police said a man found bleeding and called police. Excuse me. The officer who responded said repeatedly said he couldn't breathe and that his chest hurt. He could not provide description of the person who attacked him. Was taken to a hospital where he later died. The police report indicated the man who attacked was captured on surveillance CCTV video that was wearing all black clothing and a green ski mask. So he has good taste. Black and green. I like the combo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a super villain.
I like what you got going on today.
Supa.
You know what I'm saying? The black and the green. It looks good.
Sure.
The owner of the coin laundry played News 4 Jax the surveillance video, which clearly shows being violently beaten by the masked man wielding a pogo stick. Police have not been able to identify the attacker. There's a picture. And before I show you guys, there's no way that you can take this man seriously.
Okay.
There's just know that. Are you ready?
Oh.
What is happening here, dude?
Do you think he hopped away from the scene of the crime? Was that like his getaway vehicle as well? murder weapon, double as getaway hop.
Wow.
Bro, this dude just schwacked a dude with a pogo stick. Get out of here.
I'm speechless.
So
The police said injury did not appear life-threatening at the time, which is why they had not provided any detail on the case.
what are we doing here?
Is this
dude?
even a green ski mask? This is
I'm
like
thinking it's like a sack.
That's a beige. That's a burlap
he's
potato
got
sack.
he's got like a mask with like
Oh no!
it's a ski mask with
Oh,
like
no.
some.
He's in a dry fit uni, dude. He
Yes.
just got out of practice.
Bro, was he
Jesus.
swimming or?
The
Is he a
pogo stick,
lineman?
the pogo stick looks a lot smaller than that one.
Dude, he looks like he could be a lineman.
He's definitely
for the
not
Jaguars.
hopping on that.
Wow.
He looks too big to be hopping.
Oh,
Bro,
dude, he
his
would
suit-
shatter that thing.
His suit looks like when you getting ready to create a video game.
Yeah, it looks like one of those, like the animatronic suit they put on for Shrek to film Shrek.
Dang.
Oh my gosh, dude, I can't.
That's
even,
Mike Myers.
So I don't. Yeah, that's Mike Myers with diabetes. Everybody.
Yes.
This week's Death of the Week, again, brought to you by Corn Dog Development. Link in the description, promo code Days Grimm. Check that dude out, please. He helps us out a great deal, and you would be helping him out. So, again, rest in peace, Mr. You are gone and also forgotten.
Dude definitely had German heritage.
So, let's jump into our next.
Bit.
I don't know. I tried to make that work.
Yeah.
Pogo stick.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I tried, bro. Let's hop into whatever,
The
dude.
funny thing is, I got a pogo stick in the garage.
you seen those kids that do like flips and tricks on them and
Yes.
stuff?
Dude,
I
they're
would not
savages.
dare.
Are you prolific at the pogo activities?
Bro, I'm too big for a pogo stick.
You're not that
bet
big
you-
though. What are you, 5'9"?
I'm like 5'9" and like 250.
You're 250?
I swear.
The black is deceiving, dude.
Yes.
I bet.
I would have put you at like 220.
I bet you
I wish
try
I
it
was
this week.
220.
I bet you try the pogo stick. This
Man, I'm
week,
thinking
though.
about it right now.
Hey, I'll tell you what though. I'm gonna go ahead and crack a beverage, but if at any point in time you want something to drink, just holler at me. I get you.
For sure.
So,
God bless you.
Thank
so,
you very
Johlee,
much.
Did you grow up in Evansville?
No, I'm originally from Flint, Michigan, and
where the water's bad.
yeah,
Do they got it figured out yet?
I don't think
Or is
so.
it still
No.
just bad water all over the place?
I've been to Flint twice this year, and let's just say I did not drink the water.
I wouldn't.
I couldn't honestly tell you if it was fixed or not.
I didn't touch the sink.
There's a lot of water bottles going on up there.
Now, I can tell you, like, I did turn on the faucet and I looked at the water. I was like, I mean, it looks decent, you know, but I'm not drinking it.
It's like not neon green or anything.
You're like, I'll wash my hands in it, but
Yeah,
no,
I didn't even want to do that.
So, what was it like growing up in Flint?
Man, crazy. It's super crazy. Flint is, compared to where, when I was growing up in it, Flint almost seems like it's a ghost town or a ghost town now.
Just everybody moved away.
For the most part, heck, you probably can go up there and buy a house for like 20 grand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
it's,
dude.
It's bad.
That's a renter's paradise, dude. You go buy a house for 20 grand, dump 10 into it, and then start charging $400, $500 a month.
Maybe. If you can find somebody to
You can probably make some serious money up there. Go ahead and, hey, that's words of wisdom right there. If you're looking for a financial advisor, I got you. That's not the guy we're looking for. Anyways, go on. So Flint, what was the worst part about living in Flint?
Gunshots.
all the time.
Frequent.
Yeah,
Frequent flyers.
Yeah, gunshots. And that was pretty much like in the heart of Flint. I mean, there was times where, I was hanging out and you heard gunshots and we literally jump into the floor, like, hey, we don't know what's going on. So we jump into the floor.
Where they're coming at, where they're going.
Yeah.
So how long did you live in Flint?
I moved to Morganfield, Kentucky when I was about 15.
That's a big jump.
Huge.
From gunshots to kissing cousins. What was Morganfield like? There's a few of them down there.
Yeah.
There's a few of them. I know one of them. So. What's it like living down there, dude?
So Morganfield, it was definitely a culture shock. You went from majority all black people to majority all white people. So
Yeah.
you were just like, oh, okay. So trying to adapt to the whole, coming from bigger city to a small town.
Being a minority in a small town.
Yeah. And that was the crazy thing. But I think everyone welcomed me with open arms.
Did you play sports in high school?
I did.
So what sports did you play?
I ran track, played football, and played basketball.
Were you good at any of them?
Track, I was pretty decent at.
What was your event?
The 4x2 relay.
Okay.
And then I did the hurdles as well.
Okay, so short duration, quick speed burst.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's the 4x2?
So that is like you hand off the baton to your, your
That's the
teammate.
relay, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so the 4x2 and the relay are like the same thing?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay. That's neat.
And so when you moved to Morganfield, did you transition? You still play sports?
So when I lived in Michigan, I wanted to play sports, but I didn't play them.
Okay. So when you moved to Morganfield, you got into sports.
Yeah, I was like, I tried to run away, and they called the cops on me, and it was like, yeah, if you try to do this, we gonna have to put you in jail. So I was like, hey, I don't want to go to jail, so I'm going to school.
And how old are you at that point?
I was
When they pulled that move on you?
I was 16.
Damn, that's crazy, dude.
Freshman in high school.
And at that point, like if you commit a crime bad enough, they can try you as an adult. Pretty sure 16, 17, they can try you as an adult. So you gotta be.
Were you just acting out because you moved basically and
I just didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
You see a lot of. So the one thing that I feel like as a white dude, I often overlook or don't really pay attention to, but like you moving from Flint to Morganfield, did you notice any racism? Maybe not inherent, but like maybe even subtle, or you know what I mean? Just like people treated you off because they're not used to seeing as many around or whatever.
Yeah. So and it was the crazy thing because I had never even seen a rebel flag in person until I moved down there.
It's a wild world, dude. You get down here, dude. It's a wild
I was just like, okay, cool.
Yeah, dude.
I think I seen one, maybe on TV before I moved down to Kentucky, but
and then you're like, is this the state flag? It's everywhere.
I think it's their alternative flag. Right. It's like their alternative unis for like a team or something.
Yeah,
it's their alternative flag.
So, what do you do after high school? Did you clean your act up when you got into sports? Or
I did. Playing because I didn't play my freshman year. I played sophomore, junior, and senior year. My senior year, I just only played football. My sophomore and junior year, football, basketball, and ran track.
Okay.
Senior year, I just basically, just stick with football and.
Especially by senior year, the coaches are trying to get you to stick with like just one or something.
Yeah.
Junior year is usually when they start talking to you like, hey, let's die. I mean, just unless you're just like a fucking freak. You know what I mean? Like there are some freak track star athlete like Tyreek Hill. Freak of a athlete. Yeah. And I'm sure he did run track all through college.
You also see like a sophomore year, like the football team will pick a soccer player and they're like, hey, you can do both. You can play soccer and kick.
That definitely.
And then
happened.
like junior year, they're like, hey, that soccer stuff, if you want to kick, it's got to go.
I got beef with kickers in the NFL real quick, just while we're on this, dude. Kickers have really found their niche in the last few years, thanks to
Vinatieri.
Vinatieri started off and then followed up by Pat McAfee. Really just, they're bringing a character to the sport, and I really dig it. Like the guy from the Raiders, the black guy who does like the Michael Jackson moves every time he makes a field goal. Do you know who I'm talking about? I can't remember his name.
Ocho Cinco really started that though.
But no, I'm talking about kickers though. This guy would kick a field goal and then do like a touchdown celebration, and he was like, and he just made it a whole thing. But what I don't understand is, you said like in college or in high school, they'll pick a soccer player and be like, hey, why don't you come kick some field goals and kick punts? Yeah. They always pick the fucking white kid, like the worst kid at fucking soccer. You know what I mean? Like I'm not seeing nearly enough Italian and Hispanic kickers coming from soccer to the
there
NFL.
was one in my high school in Indianapolis.
Give me a good soccer player on my kicking team. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're always picking the shittiest, like
Damiano Mancini,
like 5'6". He weighs 110 pounds with a sweater on. You know what I mean? He's like, like, dude, he's gonna die if he gets tackled. But if you get a fucking Julio out there or a fucking an Italian stallion, those motherfuckers can take a hit. I'm just saying, dude. Crazy. Give me a good soccer player, but that's my beef. Kickers are dope, though.
Let's definitely throw out Justin Tucker from the Raiders. Or Ravens, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tucker's clutch, dude. He's going to
You guys want to talk about how your team's lost today real fast?
Oh, dude, I don't want to talk about it.
Johlee, do you want to talk about how your
We lost to the Jets, dude. Fucking Jets. God bless it, dude. I don't even want to fucking talk about it, dude. You want to talk about your team?
Losing to the Pats after we fired the coach. Yeah. It wasn't great.
You imagine that like locker room prep talk? Like,
Yeah.
we just fired this guy last week.
Dude, we got him in the bag. And he just fucking annihilates you.
Dude, like we didn't score.
He came out with some angst, bro.
Man,
He
was
probably
bad.
offered each person like a little extra bonus. You know what I mean? Like $100 to each of you if they don't get a goal or something, you know?
Yes.
Oh, man.
I don't want to talk about it, but I'm a big sport. You're a big sports guy?
For sure.
You follow anything else other than the NFL?
More college.
College? See, I can't get into. Well, I should be more into college because they're not really playing for money yet. I feel like there's still true love of the game at that point.
So that's another thing too. Do you don't bet on games?
No.
I got a buddy that's like a FanDuel or whatever addict. You know what I mean?
Well, that's not a joke. I mean, I don't know that you can make a joke about that because not to like brush. Okay, so I'll
dude,
let you
this guy's
get
bad.
to your story.
He'll
Get to
hit
your
like a
story.
heater where he'll like randomly get like $400 or $500
Easy.
and he puts it in.
Yeah.
And he'll be up like big up all weekend hitting, and then like I'll call him Monday like when I get up. I'm like, hey man, how's it going? He's like, I'm still awake. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, Sunday night's games went good. Nothing else on, so I stayed up and I started betting on European tennis. I'm like, bro, like it's
dark.
like morning there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's like up
that's
still
dark. That's a dark
betting
hole.
on tennis in Europe, or
Dude, that's
soccer.
I have a big issue with the FanDuel and the DraftKings and like the online betting apps that are just on your phone. I feel like, okay, from a guy who doesn't gamble, but I'll play like the lottery or like every now and then. I bought a ticket for like the half pot, like random stuff, like fun stuff, cheap, low ball, big win type, just for fun.
Right.
So, but with the FanDuel, dude, my biggest issue with that is you set your buddy as an addict.
Yeah.
It's literally the number one way to become a gambling addict is by having it on your phone.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, if you wanted to gamble on a sports team or a college team or whatever, you had to
have a bookie,
pack your shit up. Yeah, have a bookie, and you'd call them and say, hey, give me 500 on whatever. Or pack your shit up, drive down to the nearest casino, which in our case is downtown. Go downtown, put your parlay in, say, this is what I want, check your stuff. They give you a receipt. Then there's some other shit you got to do. And then you walk out. And then you leave. So if you want to gamble, you really got to want to gamble.
I just don't. So like I also like I know other people have gambling issues that like will legit walk all the way across town to the casino, spend their rent money, and then like walk all the way back home, like
back home to their cardboard box.
You just walked 45 minutes to lose your rent money, and then you got a long walk home. Like,
Yo, but when they hit it, dude.
yeah, I guess
When they hit it.
yeah,
you
they
know?
can finally pay rent for the last 3 months that they avoided.
I guess, dude. Yeah, but gambling is no joke.
Yeah,
man.
you can get carried away.
Dude, seriously, and that online on your phone shit, it's literally just you link your bank account to it. It's like, dude, you could be broke in 4 hours.
Yeah, not even
seriously,
notice.
no money in your account.
So, Johlee, what did you do after high school?
So I ended up going to college.
Where'd you go?
I went. You said which one?
Twin attack.
He said, where?
Yeah,
where and what for?
Where'd you go and what'd you go for?
I went to WKU, Western Kentucky
Hell
University.
yeah, Hilltoppers.
Right? And
Hilltoppers?
Yes.
Fucking got it right this time.
And I definitely flunked out.
Really?
Oh, no.
But see, I didn't even party. Like I was dating this girl who was a senior. I was a freshman. And, so she kind of had me level headed for the most part. After me and her split, I kind of went on a little, tangent
Right.
for the most part.
Were you just going for like core classes, like the basics to start?
Yeah, when I first started, it was, going, trying to get the basics done and going into the major.
So once you split with old girl, you just started going out, hanging out.
It was a different guy.
Yeah, it's like a different switch gets flipped.
Yeah.
I can't speak to WKU, but what I can speak to is just college lightly in general, dude. They don't tell you how fucking hard it's gonna be. Like,
No.
it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not. Like, it's the dumbest. And it's the dumbest shit, too, that it's so expensive that you have to pay so much money to go through this thing that is so freaking difficult that barely, even nowadays, like it doesn't even really give you that much of a leg up. It really doesn't.
Unless like you're in a special profession.
Like I'm not. You know what I mean? I just have a 4-year degree in exercise science.
Right.
And I barely get a leg up from it. And it's like, I paid all this, like, fucking crazy.
But some places, though, like my uncle has an art degree, and he gets paid more money working at a factory just because he has a degree. Has nothing to do with what he does or anything like that.
Insane.
But makes like a couple extra dollars.
Yeah. I don't know. But so how long were you at WKU before you pieced out? And what ultimately made you like, all right, I'm out?
So I was there probably 2 semesters. I didn't finish out the second semester. It was like February of 08. And
Okay.
I got to thinking, I'm like, you know what? I'm really not feeling this. There's no point in me even being here. I'm out, So
What'd you do after that?
So I came home, or actually, that's when my mom had moved down from Michigan to Henderson. And so I stayed there, just started working. And I'm just like, man, I'm just trying to figure out things at this point.
Right. Trying to figure out life, who you are, what to do.
Being pretty much fresh out of high school, not having many responsibilities. And so I'm just I got to figure something out.
Yeah, no, for sure. So what's the first move you make as soon as you get, so mom's in Henderson. Do you go from Morganfield to Henderson now?
You just said it, yeah.
Oh, did I miss that? I missed that.
Yeah,
Okay,
from Bowling Green. So I moved.
They're in Bowling Green.
Bowling Green, then Bowling Green to Henderson. And, I stayed there. I was slinging some sandwiches at Subway.
Okay.
That was
you were
probably
a
the
sandwich
favorite
artist.
job. Yeah. And I got tipped for it.
I actually just found out the other week that they were called sandwich artists.
Yes.
I did not know that. That was like the official
Job title.
Yes.
which is intriguing to me. And then I think we made a funny joke about it.
Probably about how they slop it all on and wrap it up.
That's what's up, dude. I think it's kind of like, I don't know, arousing.
It's
But maybe it's not. I don't know. Whatever. Subway's dope though. I like Subway a lot. Slinging those sandies.
Well, I was gonna say, what do you do until you start developing an interest in music?
Hold on. Can you say that again?
So, like, were you always into music?
Yeah.
Even growing up and everything, music was like your outlet.
Bro, I was a band guy.
Okay.
Like marching band.
What would you play in marching band?
Trumpet and the baritone.
What'd you play?
Stop it.
You played like the elbow or something, right?
The elbow. No, are you thinking oboe? I played the French horn, dude, and I still can't find a picture of it.
Brian wanted to play the trumpet.
Really?
Yeah, but he told him the French horn because he thought the French horn was the trumpet.
I still am. I give myself more credit now that I'm 32, but I'm very slow. So I had no idea I knew I wanted to play the do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and then I was like, that's what I tried to tell. I want to play the French horn.
Yeah.
And for some reason, there's like a picture of a guy in a red jacket with a dog, and we're hunting a fox, and I'm holding the horn, and I don't know what's going on in my head. And then she's like, okay, the French horn's open, and she hands this big fucking thing. And I'm like, I just take this instrument that's the size of my body, and I was like, this is not what I had intended. And I just got stuck with it. I did it for all of 5th grade, man. It sucked. I played a lot of guitar after that, though.
So, you were in band. Did you continue to play an instrument after high school?
No, because I was in marching band up to like 8th grade before I moved down to Kentucky. And
you kind of just stopped playing instruments in Kentucky?
Yeah.
But you had a good knack for it, though, like rhythm, beats per minute. You kind of it wasn't hard for you to pick up.
No.
So is it safe to say you're comfortable with sheet music?
I was then, not now.
Okay. Yeah, just out of curiosity. Because I really find that, like, if you have a good conceptual understanding of, like, sheet music, which it sounds like you have a good foundation of that. Like, if you had to relearn it again, it probably wouldn't take you that long.
Right.
But I feel like a lot of musicians don't have that foundation. I feel like that's a huge handicap for those folks. But if you have that in your life, or you've had that training, I feel like that goes a really long way. Just knowing those bass notes and beats per minute and hold counts and stuff like that. So that's really, really interesting. So then so you're working at Subway in Henderson as a sandwich artist. You're with mom. Are you living with your mama?
Yes.
At that point?
Yes.
Then, so while we're at Subway, how old are you? And then how long before you're like, you start feeling a creative earning or something? You know what I mean? Like before you like start putting words over a beat or something, or start trying to make beats or whatever.
Gotcha. So it was probably when I think it was like, I was maybe 19 around that time. Started working at Subway. I'm trying to figure out things. And I think it was when I was coming up here actually to record with Max B.
I don't think I know him, but
I don't know Max B.
No, off the top of my head.
Yeah, so I started doing stuff with him as far as recording wise and those type of things, and it worked out for the most part, and but I feel like I was young and still trying to figure it out,
Right.
So
When at this time, were you like rapping?
yeah.
So was that like new to you?
No, because I had started, when I was way younger, so trying to figure out, I guess, how to record myself, those type of things, because, hey, I started off on the laptop or computer, with the PC microphone,
USB microphone.
Yeah. So that was just like the starting point. And then, as I grew up trying to figure out, okay, how to really record, at this point.
Right.
Oh yeah, dude. And there's so much that goes into it, dude. Short of like the beats and like your noise canceling technology and the different microphones and what each microphone's better at than others, and it's bonkers, dude.
Interfaces.
Not even to mention the actual hardware that you need, like soundboards, mixers. It gets
A DAW.
plugins, and then okay, so when do you really start? You said you came up to Evansville to record with Max B, right?
Mm-hmm.
And did that, in your head, do you think that went well or no?
It did, because he was probably like the first person that when I first, I guess, moved back, then I kind of ran into, it's like, hey, I got a studio, come swing by. We lay some tracks, those type of things. So
Okay.
Were you releasing the tracks at the time, or did you keep most of them just like to yourself?
I did. I released them.
Some good traction or feedback?
That was when I don't know if you are familiar with Dat Piff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Dat
Piff.
Piff.
Loved that back in the day.
It's a good place to get a lot of mixtapes from.
Yeah.
And where that don't get cut or, released.
So I was releasing a lot of stuff on there.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what's up. I like Dat Piff. Corey actually previously used to be on the show. My brother, he showed me Dat Piff forever ago.
Yeah, back in high school, I used to download like 100 gigabytes a week of just like random people off there. Logic first started releasing on there.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne released a mixtape,
And they were
on
heaters
there.
too.
Yeah.
Like heaters.
Yeah.
Heaters. Actually, that's where the guy that sings, golly, I'm blanking the name. He wears the hat with the 8 on it. The guy from Chicago. He's famous.
Chance the Rapper.
Chance the Rapper got big on Dat Piff.
Yep.
But anyway, so when do you finally do you ever get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm going to get out of, Max's studio or using other people's studio, or do you still use other people's studios, or how does that look now?
Did you build your own home studio?
Yeah.
You did eventually?
Yeah, now I have my own studio.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it was the timing, because the fact that, when you are just trying to hit a stride, creative juices, you don't got time to wait on people.
You got to you got to hit it.
You wake up at 3 a.m. and you finally get a chorus or something that you're putting together that you've been struggling with, and you can just go into the room and lay it down in your underwear and then go back to bed.
Yeah,
I've done that several times.
If you get that bratwurst, dude, you get that smoky bratwurst, you got to lay that bitch out, dude. You can't just fucking, you can't sleep on that. You can't be calling up, hey, Thomas, I got this fucking cheddar, dude. He's like, oh, hold on, I'm hanging out with this girl.
Yeah.
So what was it like? Like you said, so did you transition to Christian music before your dad passed?
I think it was not really, because I didn't want the label. I think for the longest time I was running away from being labeled
Were you
as a
still
Christian.
trying to be in the like semi-clean category?
Yeah, I think it was after he passed, like I really started cleaning up music, and a lot of people label, hey, are you a Christian rapper? Are you a Christian artist, or whatever the case is? And I was like, no, I'm just conscious.
Right.
I'm just trying to be clean.
Yeah, I'm just decent. I'm just a decent human.
Yeah.
No beef on anybody that's not a clean rapper.
You just wanted to make music essentially that anybody could listen to
For sure.
with anyone around.
Right.
Yeah, that's and big shout out to Jeff Dunham. Do you know who Jeff Dunham is?
Yeah.
The fucking puppet guy, the stand-up comedian.
It was hilarious.
That dude. Okay, so here's what I'll say about the Christian acts in general, music, art, whatever. If you're a Christian act and you can break the ceiling of your subgenre into the main genre and absolutely destroy, like Jeff Dunham has, he sells out arenas for like Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. And then when he's packing his stuff up and getting ready to go on to the next arena, Monday on the way, like he'll stop in Birmingham or something, and one of those mega churches will hit him up and be like, hey, can you do a show for us? Yeah. And he'll sell out a freaking mega church.
That's crazy.
And it's like he only has that opportunity because he's clean. But he's also like,
well, in the beginning he wasn't. And
so
he had
good.
2-sided tapes. I remember that. Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my grandparents
That's
would be
crazy.
like, they like Jeff Dunham. You know, he appealed to all ages. You know, when he first came out, and he had one side that was like, a dirty act, and then he had another side that was like a clean act. My grandparents would always be like, be sure to put in, the whatever side.
And you always went to the other.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But that's actually, so what do you think about that? Like as a, would you ever play with the idea of having like an alter ego?
Yeah.
You think
I think I kind of did that.
Like you're Batman now, but then like create like a Joker.
So you're saying
Riddler?
like a Dax almost?
Yeah, like a dirty, grimy, like.
Dude, that dude is legit.
Dax.
Oh, Dax is gross.
Yes.
Dax is gross. His one-shot vids are gross.
Yes.
Whoever shoots those, which do you know offhand?
Not offhand.
The artist that's doing it, his videos are
sick,
stinky, just disgusting, dude. I watched the first one of him like in the desert where he like jumps on top of a car and it's a one-shot video. Yeah. I threw up in my mouth immediately.
Did you do any one takes with Zito?
I did.
Oh yeah, shout out to Zito, dude. I saw your video.
Which one was it? Bandit?
The top of your YouTube page.
Like the Bandit.
No, not Bandit. No, I'm blanking on it. It's at the top of your damn.
Just click on the link tree.
I have it pulled up though. I have it pulled up. Where are you? Here you are.
Was that on like it?
I had it pulled up on.
Okay, at the body bag.
Yeah, no, this one, The Curse.
Okay, yeah,
yeah. I saw that Zito had credit on the filmography. That's what I was thinking of right there.
Yeah,
The Curse, and super sick song, and obviously the shot's beautiful. I love the filter he put on it, where it's like the grainy film, and all the shots are really great.
Oh, if like that. Like literally that video was so crazy because how grimy it is literally how I felt at that moment. Really? It was hot and it was stinky.
Yeah.
Like, so when me and him shot this video, he was like, you just got to go all in,
right?
And I'm like, all right, say less, But
Zito's an animal, man.
Dude,
he's a beast.
Sick.
And like all the stuff he's overcame too along the way, and like how he gives all.
He came on the show.
Yeah,
a while back. I think he was like episode 30.
I don't know. It's been a while.
36, and we got to hit our boy Zito up, see what he's been up to.
For sure.
So what was?
That's a nice shot, though.
Well, so before you get into this, though, like, what was it like when you released like your first? Matt, like your first work as a Christian artist?
I think it was really a release. It was like, hey, maybe this is what I was supposed to be doing all along. You know, and so like even diving into it, I think the first video as a Christian artist was with Zito, and we did the. It was the one take.
Was it like a one take Tuesday that he was doing?
Yeah, and like from that standpoint, like everybody was like, "Oh, Junk, who is this guy?" And I feel like I started off like I need to just go in. Man, it's still a favorite to me.
So what? I have a question. So like youth ministry, I know that you and. Why am I blanking on the other guy that we had on, the Christian artist?
Was it E2?
Yeah, E2.
Yeah.
You and E2, both are kind of heavily involved in youth ministry.
For sure.
What's it? How do you go to put on? Because I know you guys perform a lot in the church. What's that like? Like leading up to like, what was it like getting asked, or did you ask to perform for the first time at a church?
Yeah, so it was a mixture, being asked and then also just like, okay, well, how do I get incorporated in the community of Christian, and sometimes like as a Christian hip hop artist, it feels like we're not accepted.
Right. It's almost like a black sheep, like that song, My Jesus Wouldn't Be Accepted in My Church.
Yeah. And so it's crazy sometimes, because it's almost like you always, being those your people, like you have to break that barrier as well. So
that's weird that it does feel that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like in a lot of ways that it can be this way with like Judaism or Christianity or whatever. I feel like there's always just a little bit of and just not even music aside, but there's always a little bit of like,
what was me?
Well, like acceptance is like the term that I would think the verb that I would best put on it. If that's a verb even, I don't even know. But like acceptance is the word that I think I'm going to use. But like you should be able to just be the person that you are. Obviously, we're all sinners or whatever. And whatever religion that you're referencing, like they're all generally pretty close to the same. Yeah. But you have these set of rules, and then when you go outside of these rules, you ask for forgiveness, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we're all kind of raised in the church as like, hey, we're all going to sin. We're sinning every day. Everyone in here is a sinner. So but why is there that stigma of like, why do I feel any more put out than? But it's weird. I feel like you would have that no matter where you go. That's just an interesting thought to me that there is that feeling of like, I guess like acceptance. Well, you know what I mean?
To piggyback on this, do you ever feel like because you are a Christian artist that you like you have to guess some of the things you do, or like the way you walk, or some of the actions?
Oh, like tiptoe almost.
Yeah. And and that's another thing, because I think even growing up, from I'm gonna say from the age of 5 to 7, when I first went into a church, those type of things. So it's almost like, okay, you got to be cautious of what you're saying, what you're doing, because that goes, it can come back and bite you for the most part. So, but I think there's a lot of people that's out there that are the quote unquote too radicalized, Christians, where, hey, if a person maybe have a drink, oh, that's a sin, you've been a stumbling block or whatever the case is. So that part of it is challenging, because you always have people who's willing to judge you, and they're your own people,
right? And that's a shame, because the same lady that would be like, oh, that's a sin, like I'm not going to associate with that or whatever.
Right.
And they point the finger. That same lady or that same guy has at one point in their life said that they hate something or someone. To hate something is a sin. So like, or to look at something with animosity, which I guarantee you they have. It just happens. We all sin. It doesn't matter how you do it, but I think the biggest point that's overlooked in most religions is just forgive and forget, love thy neighbor, like forgiveness, just overall like well-being. So like, as long as you're not doing something with ill intent, I feel like you're cool with me, dude. Like if I was running a church, I'd be like, you're cool with me.
Are you an Old Testament or New Testament kind of guy?
Oh, there we go. That's a good one.
Ooh, that's... You
like that OG, or you like that new school stuff?
Ooh, dang, that's a good one. I relate with both. Probably.
They both got some good messages.
Got the bangers, dude.
Yeah.
Slinging the hits.
In fact, I went to church this morning at City, and the pastor was talking about limitations. And I thought about it, and I looked at the word, and I said, limitations. Okay. There's no limit. And then you also look at it to where, okay, when you're thinking about limiting yourself or that type of deal, like how can you really, I don't know, I'm drawing a blank here, but with limits, I feel like some people limit themselves on certain things, and it's the same thing with like being labeled as as a certain person.
Oh, yeah.
I just started listening to this new book called Discipline is Divine or something along those lines. It just came out. And
Who is it?
I'd have to re-look it up, but it's something about like discipline is divine or discipline is whatever, but it's talking about denying yourself short what comings or whatever, and it talks just a lot, like you said, of
What's it called?
It's like divine or discipline is something. I don't really know. It's on the Audible.
But if I can spell, it's fine.
But it's cool because like you said, the like limitless, you know what I mean? Like things are limitless, but at the same point in time, like if you can limit yourself, the what's it called when you get something essentially basically like if you can limit your pleasures, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna have a more fulfilled life, or expect less things. That's it right there. Discipline is Destiny by Ryan Holiday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's neat.
So I was gonna say, where do you draw inspiration to write a song? Like, are you in the Word, like, and you're doing like your daily testimonial or research, and then you like draw inspiration on it, or do you? I mean, where do you think you draw?
I think a lot of mine come from mostly the experiences that I've been through, and I think there's a lot of times when I'm writing, I don't understand what I'm writing, but it's being written. And then over a period of time, so I go back in and listen to the music or listen to a particular song or whatever the case is. And I'm like, dang, was I really doing this in this season?
Right.
And which is crazy because it's like it was relating to something that was getting ready to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think in most of my music and most of my writing comes from just, different experiences, things that I'm going through.
Do you ever go back and like listen, like you said, you listen to some of your old music, but like songs that you didn't release, like you just go back through your catalog and listen and see like, I don't know have you ever gone back and like been like, oh man, I recorded this last year, but I think I'm going to release it now.
Yeah, so man, that's crazy that you bring that up because
do you have like a big bank of like non-released stuff?
Dude, some of it I didn't like finish,
okay.
And like it was being recorded, but I just never finished. And I go back through it like, okay, should I put it out, or should I just like, okay, just leave this in unreleased file type of deal? But it was a song that I put out that was called Reminisce. And for copyright reasons, I wasn't able to like really put it out. So I put it out on SoundCloud. Okay. And, I started listening to that song maybe a couple of days ago, and I'm like, dang, and, the song.
Like smoke coming through the speakers, just like it.
Yeah, like, so a lot I was talking about just my upbringing, it's kind of a chill beat, but I don't know, man. I wish y'all could play it. It's cool.
We might be able to at the end of the episode.
Oh yeah, we can check it out after. Yeah. We'll be sure to pull up some SoundCloud and peep that. Reminisce, right?
Yeah.
So one thing I did want to ask though, so from like L-Dub to Johlee, I guess, was that the deciding whenever when you changed names there, is that when you started to like, okay, I'm not L-Dub, I'm Johlee, and then I'm going to clean my stuff up? Is that timeline?
No, he was clean when he was doing L-Dub.
Yeah.
You were clean doing L-Dub too?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So what was the biggest difference, I guess, between L-Dub and Johlee? Like what happened there when we switched?
L-Dub was just all over the place. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like it was a situation where, hey, if something came to mind, I was recording it and I was ready to release it. I think with Johlee,
just more quick on the trigger.
Yeah. Okay. Johlee has been a slow start because of, let's just say, last year I had 3 deaths in the family, so it put a little bit more strain on me than anything.
Okay.
Because I was just like, man,
harder to get in that creative state.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you find yourself doing anything to stay in that creative state? Like, you're like, man, if I go run a mile and then like my mind frees up, or like, do you have any basically rituals, I guess, before you hit record?
Bro, here's the crazy thing. Like there was I would say almost a year where I can think of things, but when I get in front of the microphone, it just totally blank. And I was trying to figure out, I'm like, okay, I know I'm having writer's block, but you know, why am I like, I'm writing down stuff, but I can like, it cannot come all together, you know? So that thing was kind of frustrating for the most part. I hated it. And there was times where I was just like, you know what, get this. It was literally a point in time where I packed up everything in the studio and I was going to move it to one of my buddy's house, you know, because I'm just like, it's not no point in me having my studio right now, not being used, you know, those type of things. So it was frustrating.
I feel you. The one thing I also did want to be sure to ask about was what are you thinking, or the WYT, what you thinking? How did that come about? What is that? And can we play it?
Yeah, for sure. So WYT was a challenge that a Christian hip hop artist by the name of Miles Minnick came out with, and it's featuring No Big Deal.
Is he from here? Miles Minnick?
He's from Cali.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But you know, I came out with that, and me and Zito was like, man, you need to get striving. You need to do something. Right. You know, so I came up with it. I got it mixed and all that good stuff. And he was like, let's shoot to it. Let's shoot a video. Yeah. And usually when me and him get together and we start, you know, clicking ideas, it's just like that.
Dude, do you want to take a second? It's a minute long. Do you want to take a second to watch? Have you seen it yet?
No. Well, you're getting it pulled up, though. I think it's funny how you were talking about, like, when you get together with somebody else creative and it flows. I remember when I sent you, remember when we met at the train tracks?
Yes.
Yes. He hit me up. I said I wanted to take some photos for you or whatever real fast. Yeah. And then, like, but I just dropped you a geo pin to, like, a train tracks in the middle of the nowhere. And I'm like, hey, show up here and we'll snap some photos.
Yeah. All right. So this is, out of everything of yours that I've listened to, this is the one that honestly stuck to me or clicked in my head the most. So we're going to go ahead and play this. And this is what we were just referencing.
What did you think? What did you think? You think you gon' take it from me? What did you think?
So is that him?
Yes.
You gon' take it from me?
Tell me when to go, tell me I'ma blow. Turn the volume real loud, but leave the bass real low. I go down on the beat, cause I got the spirit. Johlee on the steam, point blank, period. Charging up like I'm from LA. Ghost rider whip, I'm not from the Bay. California dreaming, where everything's all good. But there ain't no party in my neighborhood. Can we wake them up? They been sleeping on me. I've been doing this thing since 2003. Yeah. They say they gon' stop me. I give them rights to the right, no Ali.
Say they wanna stop me. I just swing to the left like I'm Rocky. What did you think? I'ma stop at the green light for the red dot, one shot light. What did you think? What did you think?
That's sick. Okay, so I have a couple questions on that.
For sure.
Okay, so what did you think? That was a beat, I guess, made by this guy that we were just talking about?
It was a beat and a song.
Okay, a beat and a song by Miles Minnick and No Big Deal.
Yeah,
right?
I think George Rose, he was actually the producer on that track.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is a song that they made, and then he put a challenge out there?
Yeah, and like these challenges these artists are doing are
Yes.
finding people and they're like blowing them up. It's really cool.
This was clapping booty cheeks, dude. Like this, like I threw my headset off. I was like, what am I listening to? This is insane. And then I saw like the way it was shot. And and then Zito shot that?
Yeah.
Fucking bonkers.
Zito's an animal.
That's crazy,
man.
bro.
He is fired,
Like
dude.
everything that you have seen probably...
That's intense, man. That's crazy good. That's the one that stood out to me the most. And I really like that it was short, sweet, shot really well. The lyrics just smashed. And then obviously the beat is out of this world. What did you think? Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
What did you think?
So, do you find yourself
crazy.
like normal, like hip hop artists that we've talked to on the show, like BG and other people?
BG slaps.
They've talked about how, like in the hip hop scene, it's better to release singles than it is albums. Do you find that to be the case?
Are you on that train? You're on that train?
Yes.
What's this new single I see pending on your link tree?
Oh yeah, Supa.
Supa villain.
Yeah.
Hey.
So what are we looking at timeline? So we're recording a week in advance. Keep in mind. So this will drop not this Tuesday, but 2 Tuesdays from now. So timeline wise, what are we looking at?
October 28th is when the release is.
So like a week and a half after this episode.
It'd be pretty close. Yeah, it'd be like that same week or like at the end of that week. And that's intense. Dude.
So what was you said it's Supa villain?
Yeah.
What was what's like what do you can you give us any hints?
Any details?
Yeah. So Supa villain came about probably about maybe a year ago. And I've been like really, and sometimes that like I sleep on myself, like I'm sleeping on production. And so when I got the beat, you know, I sat on it. I'm like, when am I going to do this thing? It's so different. And you know, as time progressed, I looked into it this year, and I kept on the theme of Supa villain kept coming to my head, and like I'm like, okay,
like a story or just the name, like the words.
Yeah, just the name. So I'm like, okay, what makes a villain? You know,
right?
And then I think there's times where you can just like, okay. Kind of looking at the Marvel or DC or whatever the case is, just like, okay, what makes a villain, you know?
100%.
Being an outcast, you know, those type of things. So that's how I looked at it and that's how I wrote it, you know, as being, okay, being an outcast or, you know, trying to figure out the things of being a villain, you know? Heck, the video that I want. Yeah.
So when you say you sleep on yourself production wise, you find this a lot with like music artists that like they're like, oh, it's not good enough, or oh, I can tweak this, or you know, so like I know Indiana Young and local artists like big time in like the regular hip hop scene, and like dude's next. Like if like Evansville were to take off, like he would be up there, but like. I go to his house and he's like, it's not time yet. You know what I mean? Or like he'll have like 400 songs and I think they're all bangers, you know what I mean? To me, and I'm like, dude, this is it. You know what I mean? He's like, no, like it's not done yet. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, like this sounds good. Like drop this.
Yeah. Dude, he'll play you a song and you're just like, you need a bag to vomit in.
But like,
it's just a heater.
What do you do to like overcome that self-doubt in a way? Or, I mean, like, how long do you think Supa villain? Like you said, it took you a year to even like, I guess, put the track together. But then, like, how long do you think it took you to polish it? To where it was like you were like, I can release this.
Probably, maybe about 2 weeks, something like that.
That's not bad.
You know, I went in, you know, and dropped the lyrics to it. I'm like, okay, how can I make it a little bit different? But, you know, kind of still be on par.
Did you have to change your style up a little bit, like your flow and cadence?
I did.
You find yourself doing that often to like practice or anything?
Yeah.
What about, we spoke with a handful of musicians as well about breath control.
Yeah.
Do you think that's like important,
that's
or do you practice your breath control? Or
I do here and there, but the crazy thing, like it's been a trend where artists are recording sitting down now.
Right.
In which I used to think that it was like, okay, how can you do this?
Right. But how are you going to get excited when you're...
Yeah, it's like, you know, there's like, I came out with a song that's called Bandit, and Bandit was more of a trap type song, you know.
Right.
And I recorded it sitting down, you know, and it came out perfect.
Really?
You know? So I think it's all about just how you're recording.
I think when you're sitting down, though, there's something to be said about like the addition of like your breath is just more immediately controlled. Your body's under less stress. You're in a relaxed position. You're able to like, my microphone's here. I've got my lyrics here. You even maybe have a desk that you're working at. So you've got like this platform. Like there's a lot of benefits to it.
Right.
Which I could see, but then also, like you were saying, I could also see like if obviously I'm not a rapper. I mean, I probably could be. I'd probably be like a really good rapper. Just for the record.
Hey,
featuring Brian Day.
Dude, check my intros out, okay, dude. I got mad intros. I go Willie on the damn intros for the show. But that being said, I feel like if I'm trying to get like grimy and hype and like just lose my like, dude, I'm standing and I'm picking up the microphone, boom, and I'm throwing it across the room. You know, I'm slapping my dog. Like,
do you listen?
wild.
your music your input music, do you listen to mainly only Christian hip hop, or do you have a wide variety of music you listen to?
Bro,
or
you wouldn't believe this, but I listen to a little bit of everything.
I saw you have on your Facebook pop rock as an influence, or maybe that was on the L Dub Facebook. I'm not sure which one I saw it on.
So when a lot of people looked at me, they looked at it as, man, you're diverse. Like you're not just a rapper, but just as far as like the look that I was going for, man, I love country.
Really?
Yeah, especially with your brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Let the
Okay.
truth be
That's
told.
what's up. I feel like you lived in Morganfield for a little bit, so maybe that contributed to it. I don't know.
His brother-in-law's like the biggest outdoorsman in the area.
That's what's up, dude.
Yes. Shout out to my brother-in-law, bro.
Dude, awesome, man.
He ever take you hunting?
No, but I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Same, dude.
Yes.
I got my license. I'm ready to go this year. So as soon as rifle season opens up, if anybody wants to take me, I'm open.
Shout out to B. Hughes if you hear this. That's my sister-in-law.
So my I guess my question was, or what I was leading into with that was that so you mentioned that, or I said you had pop rock on your page, and it's funny you mentioned you like country. Do you find that influences your rap at all, or does it ever kind of bleed through, like whether it be a reference, or whether it be like the name of a song, or whether it be like your certain cadence, or maybe even the beat, like anything like that?
Yes, it does. So like there's been a part of me just like, you know what? Just to say I done it, I need to just do a country song.
Oh shit. Hell
And
yeah.
One of my buddies was like, dude, if you do country, I'm like unfriending you. I'm like, why, bro? I'm like, I'm like, bro, like, man, I love country. Like, seriously.
That's what's up, man. I got big respect for country, dude. I grew up like Southern ballad rock and country my whole life. So.
You ever like record a song and like a cuss word slips on accident or something, or do you find yourself you got a pretty clean mouth as it is?
For the most part, unless I'm yelling at my daughter and
getting real frustrated.
yeah, now they come out.
Tighten up.
Yeah.
No, dude. But okay, so who's your favorite country artist? If you had to pick one,
Right now,
or like a top three, even if you can't pick one.
Gotcha. I got to throw out Jason Aldean.
Like some J. Dean, dude. Some J. Aldean.
Facts, and he is phenomenal in person.
Oh yeah,
Like I've seen him like play in person, phenomenal. Right now, it has to be Kane Brown. Kane Brown has a solid album that he just dropped. Different Man, solid. I think there is one skip on that whole album.
Thank you.
But yeah,
There's a guy who wrote a song. He's got a single out now, But You Can't Have Mine, I think. Do you know who I'm talking about? It's a song about a girl, and he's like, find you a girl that leaves you breathless, gets wild on the town, still loves Jesus. I can't remember it, but the song's called You Can't Have Mine. I can't remember the name of the artist. Heck of a song. The only reason I bring that up is because like Kane Brown, like he's a black guy that's kind of gotten into the country scene, and he's really, really good.
or
He's,
Kentucky Don.
yeah,
I need to get him in here, dude.
I've reached out to him.
bro, y'all need to get Colt Graves.
Colt Graves.
Yes,
You got a hookup, dude? What's up?
Yeah, hey, I can get him.
Shoot him a text right now, dude.
After the show, yeah.
We'll talk about it after the show. Not to get wild, but no, I think that's really intriguing that like who was it that really started? Colt Ford really started the blend of like hip hop and country together, which I think was great, though I don't enjoy it. I'm the more of the kind of a guy that like I want a genre. I want hip hop. I want hip hop. Like I don't want to blend. Like
Right.
I don't want my country diluted. I don't want my rap diluted. I want it pure.
Right.
But I think it was good for the getting new artists involved in country, so we can have Kane Browns,
Right.
and then like Hootie and the Blowfish just like came out of nowhere, and he was like, "Well, I'm done doing '90s rock, so here we go." And now he's singing country, and now the guy from Stained is doing country, and like,
Yeah.
it's really cool to see the scene open up.
So I was gonna say, going back on the singles versus albums, do you think you're gonna release an album anytime soon, or do you think you're just gonna keep doing a few singles?
I'm glad you brought that up too, because I was actually, like I said, I've been thinking all day today. It just seems like, but I was thinking about like, okay, what does a a EP or album look like for Johlee moving forward.
Yeah.
Definitely wouldn't be this year, maybe into next year, but just really trying to build up a fan base, rebranding, that takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So,
travel too, like getting out there, get your name out there, go meet some people.
right.
What is networking like in the Christian music industry?
Locally, it could be better. I'll put it that way. But as far as like the type of person I am, I love to just network with anybody, you know, whether if it's just chop it up. Hey, how are you doing? Brothership, those type of things. Like, man, I love being around people for the most part.
Right.
As long as they cool.
Do you have a favorite? I know you said you don't really listen to a lot of Christian rap, or do you?
I do.
You do? Do you have a favorite one that sticks out in mind? That
Definitely KB, Andy Mineo.
And KB. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I heard Mac one I was into Christian hip hop. Like Toby Mac was big.
Yeah.
He was like one of the first, and then there was
Lecrae,
yeah. And then there was another one that was
NF.
NF's newer.
NF is sick, bro.
Yeah, I've seen his name pop up a few times.
Trip Lee.
Yeah,
Is Lecrae not really doing anything anymore?
Lecrae is constantly dropping.
Is he really still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's sick.
Yeah, I've never been big into I never look up Christian rock, Christian rap. It's one genre or brand that I kind of
There's
overlook.
good bands though. I mean, there's the David Crowder band.
Yes.
Fire.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, technically, then you have your alternatives like POD, We Came as Romans.
We Came as Romans are Christian? I didn't know that.
And then
Skillet.
Yeah, Skillet.
Yeah.
There's Flyleaf, like I said. There's all kinds of. I mean, you wouldn't even realize that you could go into the Christian bookstore and there'd be 5 bands that you'd be like, I've heard them on the radio.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair point. And you've worked with them, or no? Those are just the ones you listen to. I guess my follow up question is, what's a favorite Christian rapper you've worked with so far? Or have you done a lot of Christian shows to even have that opportunity yet?
Yeah, for sure. So it was an artist, or he's an artist that's under Reach Records. That's named 1K Few. Okay. I actually dropped a song with him last year. And then I met Andy Mineo earlier this year. So that was super cool, man, because it was not on a fanboy type thing. But he gave me some words of wisdom to get me motivated to get out of that writer's block.
Right.
And it wasn't fanboy, so it kind of had a bro feel, like you guys were cutting it up. It just felt friendly.
You think it's easier to get a Christian feature than it would be a regular hip hop feature from somebody that's bigger? No, not really.
Probably not.
Yeah, that's the one downside to hip hop, just in general. And I've said this on the show before, but I get it that to get exposure. Also, both sides of the coin, I get to get exposure. You want to get a feature, so you jump on a more famous guy's track. That's dope, but you have to pay to do it. I think that's dumb. And then, but I get it on the bigger artist side. Hey, I got this sick beat. I've got all this fan base. You want to hop on? I need to make money too. But I hate that it is that way.
Yeah.
I feel like if you just tour enough and you have enough people open for you, you should just find the opening acts that you like and be like, hey, dude, I'm doing a track. You want to get on it?
Right.
I just feel like that's how it should be.
Yeah.
With rock bands, that's how they do it. Mm-hmm. They just have either a local band open for them, and if they like them, they'll communicate and talk to them and keep good rapport. Or it's a band they bring with them that's a smaller band from their hometown and they open for them. But I feel like that's the way it should be. I hate that hip hop is the way that it is, but I get it.
It definitely can be that way. It sucks. But when you try to network with different hip hop artists, it's okay, this is what I charge, type ordeal. Now, if they have a decent following, bigger or whatever the case is, that's understandable, But even when the fact that, let's just say now you can do a split royalties type thing, where you being featured on the song, or if it's considered as a collab single with an artist. you can split those royalties. So you know,
that's sick.
You know, both
Right.
artists get paid for
If it's a bigger artist, you can be like, you can take 75% or, you know, whatever,
yeah.
you know.
Would you do a feature? Or
Yeah.
you think you see yourself? Have you tried to do one before?
Yeah.
And you
So-
did do it?
I have, you know, but I think with me is being consistent. And I think with brand wise, and I know with brand wise, like I have to be more consistent and be able just to kind of put out my own music before I'm like, hey, come and jump on this song with me.
Right.
So,
You got to build that hype, that train
Yeah.
following you. What advice do you have for anybody out there that's wanting to get into music?
just be you, you know. I think a lot of the times we have artists that not living what they're saying, you know. Me, I'm big on that. Like if I'm talking about what I'm saying or rapping about, like I'm living it, you know. Right. I'm going through it, or there's a season that I went through it, and you know, those type of things. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
How do you feel about ghostwriters?
So
Oh, is that like people writing your songs for you?
yeah. It's a thing.
I was like, have you ever had anybody approach you that's like, hey, I wrote this really moving song, but like I can't present it. You know what I mean? Like somebody like me that has like no musical, I'm not good at talking. I'm not good at, you know what I mean? Like if I were to like, I could write some poetry, I guess, but like when it would come to present it or to lay it down, I would fail miserably.
That's the most romantic thing you've ever said. I bet you could write some sick fucking poetry too.
Maybe.
hey,
But no, I was going to say,
you should definitely do it.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe
but I was
we'll
gonna
never
say,
know.
well, like a lot of like Drake, you know, like I mean, he writes a part of it, but like a lot of it, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of the mainstream music is ghostwritten by Swedish people.
Well, you want to go
but-
back to the country genre. It's like none of those guys write their own music. That's just the way it is anymore. You like they're buying songs. There's like a marketplace for famous artists like Jason Aldean to just go buy a song.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I think, you know, maybe even for some of the people out there that like are nervous about it, you know what I mean? Like
that's a fair
like
question.
do an open mic night, or you know, like try it and get out there, record it on your own or whatever. But like, if you think you're not making ends meet, but like, you know, you want to be involved in making music, like just be the guy that hits record and help with writing songs. Maybe.
Have you ever had a ghostwriter approach you, or somebody that wrote something and said, "Hey, would you give this a shot?" Or
Yeah.
you've had somebody approach you,
Yeah.
and what'd you think?
Actually, it was one of my songs, Bandit. He wrote
for real?
the hook to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're pro ghostwriter. Okay, that's fair.
Well, sometimes.
Most of the times, like if I can come up with it myself, cool. But if not, then I'm like, man,
It's
who
good to
should
have
I-
those people around to bounce some ideas off of, or
Right.
No,
whatever.
for sure. The the ghostwriting thing, that's a real thing, dude.
You
It's happening out
ever wrote something like lyrically, and then like maybe you didn't release it, and then like down the road somebody else says what you said?
Yes.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
What like do you want to expand on it a little bit or anything?
So I put out a song that was called was it True? And I said TikTok. I literally said TikTok, and this is before TikTok was ever even a thing.
Oh, damn.
You know, and I'm like, when it first came, and
Jeez.
then, you know, when it switched over, I guess, was it Vine before it was
Yeah.
TikTok?
Yeah.
I'm like, I missed the mark. Dang. Dang. You know what?
I remember like freshman year, we had like this app that would like help you write rap, whatever, and like you could like select a word and get like synonyms and acronyms,
yeah,
or like
yeah.
this rhymes with this, you know, and this range. And I remember like I wrote like I was like always grounded. I was like writing like hate rap, essentially, some like Eminem type shit about like my stepdad or whatever at the time. You know what I mean?
Angsty white people rap.
But I said something like I said something along the lines of like life isn't Burger King, you can't get it your way, or something like that. And then like Lil Wayne like literally a couple months later releases that line exactly, and I'm like,
Just like,
bruh.
yeah,
You missed your mark.
Right.
dude. Missed your mark. I have one more very serious question for you.
Sure.
Okay, so what do you think the largest animal is that you could kill with your bare hands?
Ooh, with my bare hands.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
because I'm thinking I'm doing a deer. I'm thinking I could definitely get a doe, maybe a buck, barehanded. He laughs at me every time, but I really do think I could take a buck down.
Like, are we talking like a full adult?
Like a fight to the death.
Like a full adult animal?
Actually, yeah. We did a death of the week where the guy didn't die, but he killed a big cat. Right? Or no, it came up during death of the week or something, but he fist fought a big cat, like a mountain lion, and killed it to death.
That's one brave man.
On a mountain.
And there's that movie about the guy with the bear.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
When they was like in the forest or something.
Yeah,
like
and it was, what was it? It was
Revenant.
Revenant. And it was like just him and a bear, and like
straight up, dude. Yeah. What do you think you got? You think you do a dog? You kill a pit bull barehanded?
Yeah, I just let my dog go to sleep. No,
you gotta choke this thing out and kill it. I'm talking like you're in fear for your life.
Yeah.
So you got a dog. You think you could do a wildcat? A little feistier. They're a little smaller, but feistier.
Man, if he take a swing at me, then
I know them claws are ripping.
Yeah,
it's dark, dude. We'll give you pit bull. What did you say yours is? The biggest one you can get?
I might just have to just uppercut it like one good time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
Something like that.
I think the real thing would just be to get behind whatever it is.
Yeah, get on the back. You
got to choke it out.
Yeah, get on the back.
We had somebody call in and ask us, would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Dang, I'm confused.
So just flip-flop the places. So like 100 duck-sized ponies, you got to fight all 100 of them. Or would you rather fight one duck that's the size of a horse? Both scenarios are terrifying.
So I probably try to go for all 100 of these.
I'm
going
know,
for the
dude.
duck.
I'm going the 100 though,
because the 100 horses.
Because that duck that's a pony size, that thing can sea, land, and air can attack and kill you.
Yeah, but it's slow.
But
think
huge.
about a regular duck walking. Like, okay, it may be huge, but like you run into a patch of woods, you break a stick off. Like you could probably sharpen that and get that duck. Yeah. That duck's skin ain't very thick.
I made a joke early on in the show about me being slow. This guy, he's slower than I am, just for the record. You are insane if you think you're killing a 900-pound duck. All right, anyways.
Easy.
Let you take the reins.
So, Johlee, was there ever a moment, like you said earlier in the show, you packed up all your equipment and you were taking it to a buddy's house? What made you stop? What made you not get rid of all your equipment and keep going?
Man, it was too much to put it back up in the studio.
So you ended up moving it all?
No, so like I did shut down the studio. Like I was like, man, forget this. You know, I took down my mics. I took down.
Did you undo all your cables and everything?
And it sucks trying to put all of it back together. Yeah, like literally.
We've moved this studio around 4 times, and it's a hassle even then.
Oh yeah.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
What pushed you through it? What kept you going? What made you set all your equipment back up? And
what's your driving force? You know,
I think so. Mostly it was like, man, this is therapy to me. You know, I don't have any other outlet. Like this is my outlet. This is what I'm channeled through, and you know, to try to either just push myself as writing. I don't care if it was just lines. That didn't make sense, but trying to push myself through the writer's block.
Yeah. And then last minute shout outs. What upcoming projects or work do you have coming out? Where can people find you?
For sure.
And then say the name of the song real fast so Brian can try to find that. The one we were talking about playing at the end.
Reminisce.
Oh, we're not going to play it on the show because of the copyright issues.
You're right.
We may be good on there considering the fact of that.
I say that, you know, I would agree with you, but we've been popped for copyright like four times already. Yeah, so I'm like, they're watching us.
Yeah,
like, they're watching the Days Grimm with 6,000 downloads for whatever reason. So thanks a lot, YouTube. Really appreciate you trying to shut us down. Not going to shut us down. Let's keep this party rolling, dude. But yeah, we'd like to give you the last couple minutes, kind of like just let people know where can they find you. You know, what do you want to push? What do you got coming up? And then thanks to whoever, shout out to whoever. So last couple's all you, man.
For sure. So, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere that you can type in Johlee, and that's J8, or I can't even say my name or spell it anyway, Johlee, Johlee. You can type that on Spotify, Apple Music, and you can listen to all the songs. They're there. Man, shout out to you guys for putting me on the show. Hopefully I'll be able to be back on sometime soon. Shout out to the whole Evansville local scene. And shout out to my wife, my daughter, my family, all that good stuff.
Well, hell yeah, man. I dig what you're doing, dude. I appreciate it. I got mad respect for the grind, dude. So
Sure.
Just keep your foot on the gas, dude. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Keep your chin up. Keep those legs moving. Thank you guys for watching another episode or listening. If you're listening, subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Tunes, whatever the heck it's called.
Apple Podcast.
Yeah, subscribe. Your
sure.
phone will remind you every time we drop a new episode every Tuesday at 6 a.m. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe on there. Hit the bell for notifications. And, leave us a comment. Leave us a rating, whatever, dude. Tell your friends about us. Tell Uncle Gary about us. Doesn't matter. Or don't, but thanks for being here this week, guys. We appreciate it. And show up next week,
What about one more last shout out?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Hey, the new track Supa Villain will be released October 28th. You can pre-save it right now. Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to your music. Tap in. Like I said, I'm usually pretty active on social media for the most part, mostly Instagram. But yeah, booking.joleew@gmail.com.
There you go, man. You almost missed that on your shout outs,
Yeah,
dude.
I know,
This is what
right?
we were talking about earlier in the
Yeah.
show, dude. Everybody's like, I wish I would have said that, dude.
Yeah.
No, we look forward to Supervillain, dude. I can't wait to hear it. And as I'm sure everyone else is waiting for that's listening to this. So go check it out, guys. Pre-save it and get on that, dude. This has been another thrilling episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm. Thanks again, Johlee.
And this has been Johlee. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate your time.
Alrighty.
Money.
Hey guys, if you liked what you heard today, there will be a new episode next Tuesday, as well as every Tuesday at 6 a.m. So hit that subscribe button and let your phone do all the work for you.